Alright guys, what's up? So I was supposed to write down rules for, oh no, I forgot, wait, I have an idea. Alright, so I was supposed to write down rules for a game called Waterfall. It's this Danish drinking game that I don't really remember all the rules to. Um, but I don't want to write it down, and I also wanted to make a YouTube video because I was bored, and I'm skipping my classes, so I'm doing that instead. Um, so what you're gonna need is some container. This is not a good one, actually. I need to take off the cap for this to work. And then you need a deck of cards. And how the game works is you have your bottle, your container of some liquid. Here, let me rearrange there we go. Had to rearrange the camera so that you can actually see what I'm doing. You have the liquid, and then you have your deck of cards, and you make a continuous, like, kind of circle around this container, right? You're like, oh, let's make a container. Now, normally you're playing this with people, but I'm not playing it with anyone right now because I'm making an example video. And so it's nice and continuous, right? You're like, oh, wow, awesome, this is continuous. Now, how the game works is you have some other drink. Now, here, wait, let me grab my other drink. So you have some other drink. It doesn't have to be hydrogen peroxide, but that's what I'm using right now. It's 3%, pretty tasty, and you just have that to the side, because the like things that happen in this game, you need to drink from your other beverage. And you normally you play with a bunch of people. I already said that, but I'm saying it again. So you have your continuous thing, and how it works is you take a card, and then that card has an ability. I don't know what 7 does. I don't remember that. I'm going to ask my Waterfall expert, because that's what this game is called, Waterfall. But anyways, after you look at it, you use its ability, whatever it is. I don't know what this is. But I'm going to have a list of abilities on the screen. You heard that correctly. I'm going to edit the video. That's crazy. That never happens. Alright, so I'm editing, and I realized that, there's no way that I can just display some text and have it make sense. So instead, I'm just going to say what it is. This is for the Waterfall rules, by the way. So let's say we take a card. Yeah, I'm going to go over the rules. So from 2 to 5, if it is a black suit, it means that you have to drink that many. So if I pick up a 2, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to take 2 sips or 2 shots, however you want to play. And if it's a red suit, then it means you give out that many. Let's say I draw this 3 of diamonds. I'm like, oh yeah, so you and you all have to take a shot. Or you take 2 shots and you take 1 shot. Or you can just fuck someone over and give them 3 shots. It's however you want to play. Then 6s, they are a P card, so you basically just hold on to it until you need to take a piss, and then you put it on the top of the deck, the top of the thing. 7s are categories, so you play a game of categories. So basically, oh, I'm going to say different types of clouds, and then that means that you go in a circle, and everyone has to say a cloud type. If they say something that is not in that category, or they repeat, if I say cumulus humilis and someone else is like, oh, cumulus humilis, oh, that person that said it secondly has to take a shot. It's really long. I don't really like 7s. No one really likes 7s. 8s, that's nose goes. So you put your nose on your finger. You don't say anything. You just put it on you put your finger on your nose, and everyone else has to do it. And the last person to do it has to take a shot. Let me find a 9 real quick. So a 9 is a rule card, so I can pick up a 9 and be like, you know what? Everyone whenever you're bricked up, you got to take a shot. Something like that, just something random. And then that rule now exists. Everyone has to follow that rule. Or you can be like, okay, everyone has to play with their right arm behind their back. or something. You know, it can be anything. Then a 10 is Waterfall. It's the name of the game. It's really cool. So basically, you're drinking your drink of choice, and then as soon as you start, the person to the left of you has to start, and they can only stop drinking once you stop drinking. And so it creates like a waterfall effect because that keeps going for each person that's playing, and then it comes around to the last person, and they end up getting fucking shafted because they have to start when the person to the right of them starts, but the person to the right of them has been starting for like a really long time because everyone's been drinking for a while. Like you start, you put it down, and then someone is like, you know what, I'm going to drink for extra long because I really want to screw over the person to the left of me. And yeah, it makes sense. And if you don't get it, that sucks. That's too bad for you. A jack, all boys have to drink. A queen, all girls have to drink. In kings, how they work, you get one, and you're like, ah, geez Louise. You put it on your forehead. Basically, you like blow on the back of it so it's sticky. And for as long as it is on your forehead, you can make any rules you want. So I could put it on my forehead and be like, you're not supposed to sit like this. I'm just really bad at it. So I can put it at my forehead and be like, you person in the green shirt, you have to take 4 shots right now because your majesty required it, you know? Or you could make a rule and be like, everyone has to call me Mr. Fiddlesticks. And then if you don't call me Mr. Fiddlesticks and you don't address me by that before you talk to me, you have to take a shot. Yeah. That's all the rules. Now you get to go back to me explaining how the actual game works. But yeah, you take your card. After you do its ability or whatever, if it uses its ability, you put it on top. And what ends up happening, as you can see, I put it on the top of the glass. And what ends up happening is this will get filled with a lot of different cards as the game goes on. And it goes to the right, I'm pretty sure. Like, is that how a clock moves? I think that's clockwise. It might be clockwise. But yeah, and it goes like that. And then if someone were to stack it so that this were to fall, then they have to drink their desired drink as fast as possible. They have to just chug it. And then also, if someone is to break the continuous circle, let's say someone takes this card, they play it, and then they take this card, and then, oh my god. Okay, well now they have to chug their desired drink twice, because not only do they knock it over, they also made this discontinuous. And if you don't know what continuity is, well, you should watch my video on continuity, where it's not explained. Anyways, yeah. You have to chug your drink when this is broken or if this falls over. And other than that, it's just every card that you draw has a specific rule, and you play accordingly. And that's pretty much about it. Now, let's look at the other game called 4 Horses, which I'm also supposed to write about. I'm supposed to write out the things for it. But I'm not going to do that because I'm really lazy. So what you got to do is you got to find 4 of a kind. Normally it's kings. Almost always it's kings. Use kings. Kings are cool. So you find all 4 of a kind, and then you take the deck, or what's left of it, and you shuffle it up a little bit. One moment. Yeah. For the sake of time, I'm not going to shuffle. But, and then you take your four horses, right? And you set them up on a board like so, where you have all 4 of a kind, and then you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You put 6 cards face down on the side. You can't see it, but there's 6 cards there. And so what you do is each person bets on the suit, either hearts, diamonds, clubs, or spades. And they're like, oh man, I'm going to bet like maybe 3 schmeckles on this one. And so, if they win, they get to give out 3 schmeckles. And if they lose, then they have to take 3 schmeckles. I'm just gonna say shots. I feel like that's a lot easier than just like playing around it. Yeah, if you win, you give out three shots, and if you lose, you have to take whatever amount that you like bet. Yeah. And the way that you win is you're the first one to the finish line of the 6 cards. So what'll happen is a card gets drawn from the top, and whatever suit it is, that's what goes forward. So this is a spade, so spades goes forward, and that's a club, so clubs goes forward, and it keeps going until we get until like everyone is to past one of the lines of these 7 cards, and one of these cards gets flipped over, and whatever suit that is, that card goes back. And basically, the winner is just whichever card reaches the finish line, which is past the 6 cards that are played out. It's pretty simple and also pretty fun, and it has some gambling in it, which is extra fun. And yeah, those are the 2 games, 4 Horses and Waterfall. Waterfall, I'm going to ask an expert for the rules, because I don't know the rules. I know some of them, but not all of them. There you are. Chad McGee video over.